And we are back. Do me guys a favor, for those that are just new, because there's a lot of things going on. So I see a lot of you guys that watch the channel, or some people that watch the channel, they're not subscribing, or they're not subscribed at all. So, guys, do me a favor. If you're watching these videos, you come across it, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your post notifications. So when I post a new video, you'll get notified. If you don't turn your post notifications, YouTube will not notify you. It will just hide in the algorithm, and you'll never see the video unless you just go to my channel straight up. But just do that so you can make it easier for yourself. So when I post new videos, you get notified or you'll know about it. So that's what I want to say. That's my quick announcement. Why don't people take relationships seriously anymore? I was gonna have a panel for this. Might have a panel for this in the future to kind of like have people's different opinions and thoughts about this. And then people are just questioning still, why don't people take relationships seriously anymore? Why is that not the case? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but I'm gonna read something I kind of seen on Reddit, which was pretty interesting, and something that was quite fascinating, especially in the comments, because a lot of it, there was some truth to it, but it wasn't exactly true to some degree. But I'm gonna just read it so you guys can see. So I think the concept of relationships, actually, let me read the title. I don't legit think people want relationships anymore. The people who say they do are usually lonely and lack casual intimacy. And I think the concept of relationships and marriages are mostly dying. Most folks just want to feel wanted for a while and have a good cheerleader, but once it's all said and done, you eventually get those needs met and you're bored and back to business. The whole dying alone BS is just because everyone is going to be single and you're dying alone regardless. Just enjoy the company of someone and find the proper hobby or purpose and watch how things flow. Now, I do agree with this with some of what he said here. I think the dying alone thing is a bunch of bullshit. Everybody's gonna die alone. At the end of the day, you go to heaven with nothing. Well, you don't go to the grave with nothing. Like you're not going with your phone. You're not going with your significant other. You're not going with your prized possessions. You're not going with your money. You're not going with your bank account. And you're certainly not going with everything that you've had on earth. So again, I agree with this. Life is more about intimacy and having another person right beside you. I mean, it's good to have that person beside you, but you want to spend most of your time on earth doing the things that you love, but you also want to help people, you know what I mean? And be a light to others. So when folks remember you, they're like, this person was a bright individual. Every time he came in, he brought sunshine. I guess that's something that people would, say when a person would, pass away or die, so to speak. But in terms of the comment that this person made, like I said, it's very straightforward, straight up. Marriages are dying, as a matter of fact. Marriages are not going up. Marriages are on the decline, as a matter of fact. And I'm not talking about, high-profile individuals, celebrities. It's across the board. Marriages in the Black community are significantly down since the 1950s. And when I mean down, divorces are at an all-time high. Now, with the pandemic, I guess you could say that's a given. People have learned a lot. And when people are crammed inside the house or isolated in their house with their significant other, they're kind of gathering new things that they've never seen their partner do before, even before the pandemic. It's kind of like, I seen something that I really don't like about you. So now it's like, this is not who you are. This is not the person I thought you were. But now since this is the person that you said you are now, why am I with you? Why did we make a family? Why did I do all this? Why did I sacrifice this? Although life is about choices and trade-offs, you're gonna lose things along the way, but you're also gonna gain. So that's something, people were kind of reevaluating these past 2 years with the pandemic, especially. So there's a good point to be made here. Let me just read this comment. This is a pretty interesting comment, guys. So I'm gonna read this. So I think people do want relationships, but the common thing is I seem to run into that people have significant trust issues and will do whatever to get hurt again, or have incredibly unrealistic, rigid standards for what they think a successful relationship is, or so they're trying to avoid committing if they think they might miss out on other experiences. So, yes, even me myself has come across that, and I'm just like, if you have these issues, I'm not gonna say seek therapy, but I would say, work on yourself before you get into anything. Quite frankly, honest with you, I agree with the premise this person had here. So if the intention was to get in a relationship, but you have all these trust issues, then why get into the relationship in the first place? So, that's something that I've seen a lot. And another reason is because they don't want to miss out on the experience or the things that come along with being in a relationship. So that is very true. So there is a lot of bullshit in the dating scene, and people are lost between the noise. This is also something I might believe is the search of dating coaches and strategies that are taken advantage of, and they are only muddying through the waters even further. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. A lot of these dating coaches, or dating gurus, they call it. I'm not gonna say names because I don't want things brewing in the comments saying, "Oh, I'm just a panderist. I just don't agree with these dating coaches." So, a lot of these dating coaches are scammers, modern day scammers. Like a lot of them are just like running a check for YouTube. Not gonna lie, a lot of them. Almost all of them, actually. I'm not even gonna lie. Not even some. Almost all of them are running a check for YouTube. I kind of tell people, well, if you're like listening to these dating coaches, actually, you're sort of, you sort of have some confirmation bias because you're looking for the things that you sort of want to be true, but they're not there. So, that's sort of the problem with, people that watch these dating coaches and, really take them into consideration because they said something that, isn't the norm, but it can be there. But these dating coaches, they say one thing, but, they don't do as they say. They do it just for the audience or for the money, so to speak. So people kind of take it as real advice and just run with it. Although, there's some things that they say that they're true, to some degree. But I don't think, people should run with everything these dating coaches should be saying on these platforms and call it, the truth. Like, these people are not arbiters of the truth. They're just saying their opinions. A lot of it may come from their experience, which, is understandable. Like, you can warn people and say, don't do this, don't do that, do this. But we have to be careful, who we take advice from and what we run with. So this girl on Reddit says something in the comments I'm gonna also read. So she says, "I'm 23, I want a relationship, and the majority of people are not ready or have been hurt or want to avoid hurting again. I've also been talking to a guy who broke up with someone in March of 2020. On one hand, it's promising to know that he can do an adult relationship even if he got done. But he's so hot and cold. It's like, how will you ever move forward even if you won't even try with me?" And then someone else in the comments said, I just won't go with a woman unless I can be attracted to her as a BFF and feel she is hot enough. I won't need to look around. There's a lot of women that are considered highly desirable, but I won't even try them because their body type and personality won't cause me to lose interest in other women as porn. I don't know what to say about, I don't agree with the last one, but the one that said she was 23, for guys, if you're under 25, there is no point in getting married. Straight up. I'm not like, this is my opinion, guys. Don't take this as advice. That's the difference between me and some other YouTubers out here, dating coaches or gurus, you want to call it. In my opinion, I humbly think men should not be taking relationships seriously under the age of 25. No lie. That's just my opinion. That's just how I see it. I'd say wait until you have yourself together. Well, yourself all set. You have your finances in order, other things in order. Make sure you are the best version of yourself, the best man that you are, that you can be, that you say you want to be. This person said, it depends on your age. A lot of young adults, teens want instant gratification from sex, attention, and validation. They don't want a serious long-term relationship because that takes a lot of work, effort to maintain. They want a quick, easy self-satisfaction, which usually is literally casual dating, casual sex. But older adults want a family, so they're looking for a serious long-term relationship. Yes, I agree. Back in the day, yeah, things used to be different. People used to want relationships, but now it's kind of like, and this is on both sides. People just want casual sex, instant gratification or pleasure, so to speak, and that's what they call relationships now, or other things now. I wouldn't say they call it relationships. I would say this is the stuff that they would benefit in a relationship. So they do that just to force the relationship in order to get those things. So, a lot of this is kind of like, it really depends on the individual. Divorces are through the roof. Marriages are not working as they should be anymore, to some degree. People are getting married, then, you find out, they're getting divorced. Kind of crazy, there's some celebrities, that I knew had good families, but in reality, behind the scenes, it's shitty. It's bad. And they end up getting divorced. And how it's being filed behind the scenes, it's really messy, guys. I read into like how the process really usually works, and it's really tedious, but there's a lot of tension there. So that's something to keep in mind when you're kind of thinking about how does this divorce process work. I'll maybe go through that in another video. I'm gonna read this last comment. This person says, are you sure people don't want relationships anymore because they just want or they just want them with you? Most people still want a long-term relationship, monogamous relationship, except for the fact that young adults or young people are looking for other things. People want kids, people want a spouse. The average age of a first marriage usually goes up over the last 20 years, but the number of divorces has gone way down over the last 20 years. I don't agree with that, but people want relationships. They just because you don't, or you can't, or people who can't, doesn't mean that's universally true. Well, in terms of the divorce part, there are statistics out there to support this. The divorce rate going up. But I'm not going to get into all that in this video. But to kind of close out on this video, I just want to get you guys' thoughts about this, because this is going to be an interesting conversation. This is going to continue.